Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our mathematics revision class, of which in this revision class we are just going to look at 2022-2023 Math 1120 solution, and this is just my part 2. So feel free to ask questions and feel free also to contribute. Before I move on, I'm kindly asking if someone can confirm if you guys are able to get me or not. Someone to kindly confirm. Alright, thank you very much. So let's quickly look at this question, which has 3 parts, A, B, and C. The first part is the equation P of x is equal to negative 2x squared plus 280x minus 180, where x represents the number of items sold, and then describe the profits for a certain business. Then we have been asked by using the complete square method express px in the form of that where a and b are constant. Then the other thing which you have been asked is find the number of items that should be sold to maximize the profit, and then 3 is find the maximum profit of the business. So if you look at this particular question, it's very easy to do it, and it's personally, I can call it as a free mark. The reason why it is a free mark is that you only have a single job. Imagine all that 7 marks, you only have one single job, which is complete the square method. Nothing else, just complete the square method. Once you do that, then all the 7 marks is on your side. Let's quickly look at how you can easily do it without having any difficulties. Please follow me well. So we have been given P of x is simply equal to negative 2x squared plus 280x minus 1000. The first thing that you need to do, is you're going to say px, then you're going to factorize, okay? You're going to factorize negative 2. So you're going to factorize what? Negative 2. And then I'm going to do it step by step because most of us are not familiar with the situation. So then what you're going to do is you're going to divide throughout by negative 2x. So what I mean is you have 280 there, you also have 1000 there. So the next step is to divide throughout that negative 2 you have factorized, you divide throughout in this particular equation. So you divide throughout like that, okay? This guy here should only remain as x squared. This guy here should only remain as x squared. That's why we have factorized. So when we factorize that, we are now going to do this negative 2, and then our next step, negative 2x squared divided by negative 2, it will give us what? X squared. Then there it will give us negative 280 divided by 2. 280 divided by 2 is simply 140x. Remember that negative has affected the positive, that negative and that, so that one will be plus 500 like that. Now, after you do that, your next step is now to find the what? The half of 140. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say now is you find the half of 140. So you're going to get this 140 here and find half of it by saying negative 140 divided by what? 2, which is giving you negative 70. Now, this negative 70, which you have found there, that negative 70, which you have found there, this is what you're going to do to it. You're going to go back. Remember, I have found the half there. Okay? So, I'm now going to do the following to that negative 70. So, I'll say Px is simply equal to negative 2 will maintain its position. Then I'll say x squared minus 140x. Then here is where people get it wrong. You are going to add, then subtract. Take that right. You are going to add, then what? Subtract. So after you do that, this is what you are going to have. So you are going to say negative positive 170 squared minus, you say negative 70 squared, and then you say plus 500. What have I said? You add and subtract. That 70 you had here, that 70 you had there, you add it and subtract it. This guy here, I'm repeating myself. You add, then do what? Subtract, and not the other way round. So after you do this, after you reach at this particular point, what are you supposed to do? What you now need to do is get this negative 70 and pair it with the x squared. Okay? So this is what I mean. So you're going to say Px is equal to, do not tamper with negative 2. Then you're going to get this x. You put it as what? X inside. Then you get negative 70 the way it is, negative 70, and then you say squared. Then from there, you're going to say negative. You can easily say 70 squared. What is 70 squared? Can someone find what is 70 squared?
49,000.
Sorry?
49,000.
49,000. Okay, so we have 49,000. So we're going to say 49,000. Remember, this negative 70 squared has not affected the what? The negative there. So after you say negative 70 squared, it is 49,000. 49,000 times negative, it's negative 49. It's negative 4900. Are you sure 49,000 or 4900? 4900, yeah. Then this one will maintain its position as 500 the way it is, like that. What is your next job? Your next job is this. You're going to say Px is equal to negative 2, and then you're going to maintain the way it is, x minus 70 squared. You say negative 4,900 minus or plus 500. It's going to give you negative 4,400, like that. So this is what you have gotten. So once you do that, your next step is to now multiply that -2 by everything which is inside. Okay, you multiply that -2 by everything which is inside. So when you multiply -2 by everything which is inside, remember we have p of x is equal to -2 open bracket x minus 70 squared and then minus 4400, like that. So you're going to multiply that -2 by everything which is inside. So this is what you're going to have. You're going to have px is simply equal to this times that. Remember that those are protected, so -2 will just remain outside, and then 70 squared, and then you say this times that, it's going to be positive 880, positive 880. Then this has been expressed in that form, which is px is equal to a open bracket x plus p squared plus q. Then you are done with complete the square method. Then the next thing that you have to do is to work out number 2. So you're going to say find the number of items that should be sold. So here you have been told that x is the number of item. X is the number of item. So what you're going to say, you're just going to get what is inside there. You say x minus 70, then you equate it to 0. So x will simply be equal to what? 70. Therefore, the maximum number is what? 70 items. So this is the maximum number. Then the last one is find the maximum profit. So the maximum profit, you just get the number which is on the last side. So you're just going to get this number. So maximum profit, you write maximum profits. Maximum profit is, you just get that guy and you write 8 that. Remember what was the unit? You haven't been given the currency. So if it was kwacha, you would have put kwacha. If it was US dollars, you would have put US dollars. But we have not been given what the currency was, so you just leave it the way it is. So is there any question, ladies and gentlemen, at this particular point? Okay, it's more like we don't have a question. Let's move on and look at the other question, which is that question. So guys, I'm just going to solve. Yes, I've seen someone raising their hand.
Sir, I have a question on the first solution that you were solving.
Okay.
Yes, there.
Yes.
There, where you have to write p, then x in the brackets is equals to -2, then blocked brackets x to the power 2 minus 140x. Where did we get those two -70 and -70 squared?
From finding the half. From there is a part I have put in green. There is a part I have put in green. So we had to find the half of 140. We had to find the half of 140, which...
But still...
Yes.
why did we include the same 140 again in the second equation down there? Why did we have to add it there as well?
X squared minus 140x plus negative 70 squared is the same as that part. That's why this here everything from x squared to negative 70 squared, they make up x minus 70 bracket squared. That's why you have to show that step. Is that okay?
Oh.
Okay.
Not really. I'm still confused a bit.
All right. Let me do this. What I'm saying is that the expression, okay, follow the expression x squared minus 140x plus open bracket negative 70 squared is the same as open bracket x minus 70 squared. Okay, this is that. Again, from 140 here going here, when you are rationalizing, you make sure that you don't change anything. So this plus negative 70 squared minus negative 70 squared is more like we have added a 0. Negative 70 squared minus negative 70 squared is equal to what? 0. Why? Negative 70 squared, it will give you 4900, and then you say minus that one will also give you 4900, which is what? 0. So when you are reversing this expression to that expression, it is working out because this is more like a 0. You get? And then on the other hand, when you try to bring back this guy to that guy, it is giving you that guy. So complete the square method. We just rearrange everything without changing anything. We just rearrange without changing anything within the given function. Is that okay?
Yes, now thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other question? Okay, it's like we don't have a question. Yes, what's your question? Christine. Is it Christine? Not Christian? Yes, Frederick, what's your question?
Sir, how do you get rid of negative 140 in that part where you highlighted the negative 70 squared?
The 140 has disappeared because this whole expression here, let me get that. This whole expression here, this expression here is the same as that expression. This stage from this guy here to that guy, this expression is the same as that expression. This thing, this one I'm highlighting this side, it is the one which is on this particular part from up to here. Then this guy here, it is the easy expression for that one up there. That's why 140 has disappeared. 140 is appearing here because you know that we have just added a 0 there. Is that okay now, Frederick?
Yes, sir. What topic is this? I've joined the class late and I think there is need of me revising it.
Okay, you revise. I'll send the link to the lecture class. Okay, so let's move on and look at the next guy. So the next guy is as follows, whereby you have been given that guy, find the range of k such that the equation that will have a complete the square. So you say solution. So in this case you have something like k x squared plus 4 square root 3x plus k is equal to 1. Your first step is to make this guy to be the same as this guy should be in the form of the following. It has to be a x squared plus bx plus c is equal to what? 0. In such a case, what you are going to do is you are going to take 1 to the other side. So this will be k x squared plus 4 square root 3x plus k minus 1 is equal to 0. What does this mean? So these are the highlights I'm going to give. I'm going to give this as my first highlight there, 1, and then I'm also going to give my other highlight there, 2, and then I'm also going to give my last highlight, which is this guy here. Okay, so these are the 3 things that you need to take note of. Now, according to the expression, this is what you need to understand. In this case, this guy is telling you that A is equal to what? K. This guy is telling you that B is equal to 4 square root 3. This guy is telling you that C is equal to K minus 1. When you do that, the next thing that should pop up in your mind is, how can I find the what? The discriminant. How can I find the discriminant? So the discriminant, you're going to say discriminant. How do you spell even discriminant? Discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac. b squared minus 4ac. So that's the formula each and every one of you is supposed to take note. This formula. This is the formula for what? For discriminant. So every step is important, because in mathematics they don't just mark the last question, the last answer. They also mark the what? The method. So the formula there will now help you to replace what you have. So you're going to say 4ac, remember that has to be c. So you are now going to say discriminant is equal to, what is your a, what is your b? Your b is that. So you are going to say open bracket 4, open bracket 4 square root 3, and then you say squared, open bracket 4 minus 4 square root 3 squared, and then you say minus 4 you write your 4, and then multiplied by what is your a. So from here you can find that a is simply what? K. A is k, and then what is your c? C is k minus c 1. So you write k minus c 1, and then like that. So upon doing that, your next job is just to expand those guys. Once you do that, your next job is just to expand those guys. But one thing that you need to understand is that 4 can be okay, this guy here, this to the power 2, it is 16, and then 16 times square root 3 squared is simply 3, and then you're going to say minus, you're going to say 4k times that one, it is 4k squared, 4k squared plus c plus 4k plus 4k. That's what you have. So once you have such an expression, you can easily say, remember this is times, remember that is times there. So you're going to say 16 times 3, it is what? 16 times 3 should be 48. I hope I'm correct in terms of my calculation. It's going to be 48, and then you can say minus 4k squared, and then plus 4k. So from what we have, we can easily factorize that guy. We can easily factorize the guys. So let me just get back there. Okay, you can easily factorize. So let me quickly factorize the expression by factorizing -4. So if I factorize -4 like that, I'm going to have here, this will be when I factorize there, this will be -12, this will be -12, and then this will be positive k squared, and then this will be -k. So these I can rearrange them by saying -4, and then open bracket, I can say k squared minus k, and then I can say minus 12. Okay, so after I do that, what is my next step? My next step is now to factorize what is inside there. You can use product sum and the factor. Okay, so when you use the product sum and factor, so you have product sum and the factor. So for those who don't know how to do the product sum and factor, please you can check on my YouTube channel. I think I've explained that. So the product here, 1 times -12, it's -12. The sum is -1. Automatically the factor will be -4 and 3. So with that being said, you can easily work out that. So it will be -4, and then open bracket, you're going to have k minus 4, you're going to have k minus 4, and then close bracket, the other one will be k plus 3, like that. Now those are the guys which you have after factorizing. So that means that we are now going to have our right solution. We are now going to have what we have. We have, I'll write it again. I have -4 open bracket, then we have what is simply inside, it is k minus 4, close bracket, and I also have k plus 3. Okay, so from that, which is the discriminant here, so in this case we can treat discriminant to be equal to what? Equal to 0. So if discriminant is equal to 0, so we can easily look for the values of k. So there, k minus 4 is simply equal to 0, and then k plus 3 is simply equal to what? 0. So here k will be equal to what? 4, and then there k will be equal to what? Negative 3. Now, for us to know which values will make our roots to be complex numbers, which values will make our roots to be a complex number or a complex discriminant, which is being determined by that part. So you can try out these solutions on your number line. Let me just quickly sketch the number line here. So you can simply have your number line there like that, and then you have a 0 there, you have negative infinity, and then you have positive infinity. So you have two critical points. The first critical point is negative 3, and then the other critical point is what? Is 4. So if you take a value which is, let's say negative 4, if you put negative 4 there, okay, if you put negative 4, I'm trying out using a number line there. So if you put negative 4 there, so when you put negative 4, this expression using negative 4, using k is equal to negative 4, this guy here, this guy will be equal to negative 4, and then negative 4 minus 4, and then you're going to have negative 4 plus what? Plus 3. This will give you negative 4 open bracket negative 8 comma negative 1. So if you multiply negative times negative times negative, the answer will be what? A negative. And you know, for the discriminant is equal to the square root of what? B, the other part, which is b squared minus 4ac. Okay, that's how the expression is. So if this is a negative, when you put a negative inside there, you're going to find that this is a what? A complex number. So that means that the first part, which is agreeing, it is this part here. But if you try out a 3 there, it's going to be 0. So negative 3 there is going to be 0. And you know that it's possible to have square root 0, so which is fine. So meaning 3 is not supposed to be there. So you're going in this side. When you try out numbers in between negative 3 and 4, let's say you put a 0 there, you put a 0 there, okay? Let's say using x is equal to 0, so you're going to have negative 4, and then there it will be 0 minus 4, and then there it will be 0 plus 3 like that. So if you check out there, it's going to be negative 4, and then negative 4, and then there it will be 3, and then this one it will be a what? A positive. And you know that if that guy is a positive, when it's a positive there inside, then this is okay on our side. So this side is not giving a complex value. But let's say using x is equal to 5. What are you going to experience when x is equal to what? 5. So when x is equal to 5, you plug in there, you're going to find that it's going to be -4. Then there it will be 5 minus 4, and then there it will be 5 plus 3. Okay, so this one will give you -4, and then there it will be 1, and then there it will be what? 8. If you work out these guys, it will give you a what? A negative value, which is also not agreeing. So the other side of the coin, which is agreeing, it's this side, and it is going what? This side. So this is the testing which people fail to find, and which people end up not getting the question right. So here at this part, there is no complex number. This one has no complex number. That's why we always say mathematics basically is all mostly about sets. So after you do this, what is your solution set? So your solution is this side, which is -infinity, -3, and also the other part, which is 4, what? Infinity. Therefore, the solution set, which is the answer, the solution is simply equal to, you are going to write the following. What you are going to write is open bracket -infinity, -3, open bracket, union, then you are going to say 4, infinity, close bracket. So this is your what? Your final answer. Simple. All right. So let me quickly move on and look for which question. For this question, I'm not going to solve it because we solved it in Math 1100. This one here, we solved it in Math 1100. So go and check how I solved this question in Math 1100. There is a similar question in Math 1100 which has this principle here. So I'm not going to solve this one so that you guys can work it out on your own and you can send me the solution. So this one already has the answer, the explanation using Math 1100. Should be revision 1 or 2. Yeah, revision 1 or 2, Math 1100. Okay, let me quickly work out this one and then I'll allow you guys to ask questions. Let me quickly work out this one. So this is now calculus. Calculus, in most cases, the first principle is mostly in the exam. In most cases, the first principle is mostly in the exam. And there are a lot of questions I've solved. We check on our YouTube platform. There are a lot of questions which I've solved on the first principle. I've solved as many questions as I can. So make sure that you go and check it up and make sure that you follow each and every step. But since this question was not in Math 1100 so far, I'm going to solve it. But when we meet it in Math 1100, I'm not going to solve it. So this, you have f of x, trust me, this was a free mark, x squared. So what you are going to do is f complement of x, which is dy dx, using the first principle. The formula is as follows. You're going to say f open bracket x plus h, and then minus f of x, and then over h. Remember, there is the limit there. You need to put lim h is approaching what? 0. Now, after you do that, you need to look for what is the f of x plus h. So you're going to say f of x plus h, okay, is equal to, where there is x, you are going to put what? X plus h. So you are borrowing now the knowledge from functions. You are borrowing now the knowledge from functions. So you are going to say x plus h squared, like that. Then you know f of x has already been given, which is x squared. With that in mind, your next step is now to work out this question as follows. So you are now going to say f complement of x, which is dy dx. You replace where there is fx plus h, you are going to replace it with the x plus h squared. There is a mark here, minus f of x, which is x squared, and then over x squared. Remember that there is a lim which you are supposed to include there. H approaches what? 0. So there is a mark, a single mark there. Then the next part, you're going to say lim, okay, h approaches 0. You're going to expand. Here there is one mark, ladies and gentlemen, there is one mark. This is 3 marks here, okay. So there is a method mark. In mathematics, there is what we call a method mark. So just this particular point, there is a mark there. Then you're going to expand that guy here. So when you expand this one using binomial expansion or any other method, this will be x squared. This will be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared minus x squared over, okay, over, by the way, I've written h here, which is not supposed I've written x, which is not supposed to be x there. Oh, sorry for that mistake. Okay, so this is an h down there. So an h will maintain its position. Then one thing that you need to understand is that mostly this part has no mark. So we are going now to write a lim h is approaching 0. So here, just working out that one and that one go. So you are now going to have 2xh plus h squared over what? Over h. So this part also has 1 mark. That part also has what? 1 mark here. There is a mark here, 1 mark there, okay. There is 1 mark there. There is also a mark here, okay. So out of 3 marks, 2 marks are going for the method mark. That's why it's important in mathematics, no matter how hard a question is, try it out. Even if you make a mistake with the final answer, at least your effort might give you small marks. So after that, we can move on. We can say lim, okay, h is approaching 0. So according to what we have found, we have 2xh. So we have 2xh plus h squared over h. Okay, so from there now you can simply factorize h. So you're going to say lim, then h is approaching 0. When h is outside, you're going to have 2x plus c h and then over h. And then what you know is that this h and that h will go. So what you have now is lim h approaches 0, then you have 2x plus c h. So since h is approaching 0, you can put a 0 there. Okay, you can put a 0 there. So therefore f complement of x is simply equal to what? 2x, which is the same as that one. Then you are done. So that's how easily you can work out that guy. Okay, let me quickly look at the last part, then you guys will ask questions and then we'll call it a day. So the last part is as follows. This is under integration. This is also a free mark if you know how to do it. Find the area of the shaded region shown in the diagram. So you have this function. In short, f of x is equal to y. So f of x is simply equal to what? 4 minus x squared. Your first step should be integrating that guy. Okay, so since you have been given the integrals or the intervals, you are now going to apply the integral. So you're going to say the integral function, what are your interval? That should be your question. So your interval is a 0 here, which was not indicated because this curve is starting on 0, and also a 2, which was indicated. So I'm sure people made a mistake by using 1 instead of a 0. So which one is supposed to be in front is a 2. So you put a 2 on top and a 0 down there. Then you're going to write that function inside 4x squared d bracket c dx. Just like that. So you writing this part here, okay, you writing this part here is carrying 1 mark. You writing this part here is carrying 1 mark. Then from there you can easily integrate that guy. So this integration will be replaced by those brackets. So this will now be you know, when you're integrating a constant number, it will surely just have an x there. So it's going to be 4x. Then minus, you're going to say x 2 plus c 1, 2 plus c 1 over 2 plus c 1. And then you put your integral 2 and what? 0. So from here, you can move on. From here, you can move on. You can say 4x and then minus x to the power 3 over 3. And then you have what? 2 and 0. So at this particular point, integrating this guy like that, it carries a single mark. Remember, there are 4 marks here. So 1 mark is there, 1 mark is there. So we move on and look at the other mark where it is. So what you're now going to do is you're going to replace those guys. Okay, where there is x, you're going to put 2. So you're going to say 4 and then you put a 2 and then minus, you say 2 cubed over 3 and then you say minus. Remember to write everything. So you say 4 and then there are 0 and then minus 0 cubed over 3. You know this part will be a 0, so no big deal. So what you're going to do is 4 times 4 times 4 4 times 2. 4 times 2 is simply 8. 4 times 2 is simply 8, and then minus, you say 2 to the power 3, it is 8 over 3, and then you have minus everything is what? 0. Then from there you can work out this as a fraction. You know, when you work out this as a fraction, this will be common denominator 3. 3 times 3 times 8, 8 times 3, so it is simply 24, and then minus 8, and this will give you what? Will give you 16 over 3. Then you are going to write, therefore the area, okay, the area is simply equal to 16 over 3 units, because you have not been given the units squared. So this is the answer. So this guy carried 2 marks. Okay, so with this working, ladies and gentlemen, I think that marks the end of my work. But if you have a question, you can ask right now, or